What's an irrational fear you had as child and still have as an adult? Going up the stairs from my basement in the dark. I gotta run. Closed TS being open while trying to sleep just freaks me out. Needles, those things are scary as fuck. Bloody Mary, it scared me so much as a kid that I still don't like using the restroom at 12 AM. I know it's not real, but I'm sure not gonna try to find out lol. When I was young I saw the movie Jaws. It freaked me out so bad that when I went to bed at night my irrational young brain told me that I couldn't dangle my hand / foot / whatever body part over the edge of the mattress because somehow a shark would come up from the floor. Note, I live nowhere near an ocean and bite it off. To this day I cannot have anything dangling over the edge of the mattress. The drain at the bottom of a pool. Talking to people I don't know. Toy Story gave me the fear that if I didn't love my toys enough and give them enough attention they would start to hate me and want revenge. I'm definitely not a child anymore, but still feel that same sense of fear sometimes when I see the blank stare of a plastic eye watching me. Vomiting. I know no one likes throwing up, but I've had a full-on, legit phobia of it for as long as I can remember. Last time I vomited was in 1998. I was 9. Since then, if I ever start to feel like I'm going to throw up, I have a full-on panic attack, which only makes me more nauseous. I have no idea where the fear comes from. The last time I threw up wasn't particularly traumatizing, and remember being afraid before then. People ask me what I do if I get a stomach bug. I don't think I've had one. People ask me what I do if I get food poisoning. I've never had it so bad that I can't suppress it until it comes out the other end. I actually developed an eating disorder in high school because I was so afraid of throwing up that I basically stopped eating entirely. Can't throw up if there's nothing in your stomach. Turns out you can't think. Either hot thunk it. Edit. Yes, I have dry heaved before. It does suck. Can't say if it's better or worse than vomiting though, since I can't remember what it's like. Definitely the ocean. The fact that there's so many creatures in the ocean, so many creatures hiding in the dark, unreachable by human parts of the ocean. Things we've never seen. Things our own fucked up minds can't even fathom. Creepy. I was always afraid that my mom could read my mind, but didn't tell me, so I would randomly scream in my own head, hoping to scare her. Asking grocery store employees for help, even though it is literally their job. The THX logo sound. It doesn't scare me now as it used to when I was small, but it still pumps up my heart rate and makes me anxious. I have no idea why. Spiders. Anything with more than 4 legs needs to be eradicated. Sharks in a swimming pool. That people can read my mind by touching me. I don't know where it came from. After reading a Stephen King book when I was 11, I was scared to sleep with my feet uncovered. I still have the irrational fear that something is going to grab my uncovered feet. Spiders hatching out of my cheek. From scary stories to tell in the dark. Steep hills. I think it came from when I was a kid. We were driving up a mountain and my dad jokingly said we had to lean to the side otherwise we'll fall over the edge. I took it seriously and put all of my little body weight to the far left. As a result, I have constant dreams of being in a car driving up an 80-degree hill and suddenly having the brakes fail. When I first visited San Diego and experienced those hills, I nearly had a panic attack. I always had an irrational fear of break-ins. I was convinced every noise was a red-eyed man come to kill me. I would tremble and shut my eyes in bed or hide beneath my blankets. A few years later my dad was murdered in a house break-in, so I guess it wasn't too irrational. Heights. Specifically high man-made objects. I seem to do okay with cliffs and mountains. However, tall bridges terrify me to the point that I have a panic attack. Roller coasters also terrify me. Buildings with those glass floors or big windows, I always move to the part of the room closest to the middle of the building. My head just doesn't quite trust it. Started as a kid, when my mom wanted to ride one of those cable cars in the Alps. Was about 7, and I just sat on the floor and cried because I was so terrified. It's coming back to bite me in the ass, because my daughter is a thrill seeker and loves all fast and high rides at theme parks. It was only recently I learned that my disgust for holes found very closely together was called trypophobia. There's a subreddit for it, but it's somewhat NSFW. I'm afraid of walking in the woods at night, even though I know it's safe, but I'm not afraid of walking alone at night downtown. Sirens. I had some traumatizing experiences with our old burglar alarm, and now, whenever I hear one, even if I'm not scared, my eyes begin to water and my heart skips a beat. I don't really get too fazed by it anymore, but my body goes full yoink on me. I'm afraid of scheduling my own doctor appointments. Bees, wasps, anything that can fly and sting. I'm not allergic, but I have had a few accidents with them. I'm absolutely terrified of them. Even flies scare me. My friends don't get it. Peter Pan. How anyone can be okay with a stranger flying through their window is beyond me. So my older brother made me watch the movie Twister with him when I was around 6 or 7. We had recently moved from Texas to California, so I had experienced a few tornado warnings growing up. Anyway, that movie scared the absolute shit out of me to the point that whenever there was any sort of storm, even though we were now in California and nowhere near tornado territory, I'd have panic attacks and even sleep on the floor of my parents' bedroom at night. As I got older, I would obsessively check weather websites to make sure there were no severe weather alerts if it started to storm outside. I was so traumatized by that stupid movie that this lasted until I was probably about 14 or 15. The sound of thunder still makes me slightly uneasy, but I've started to enjoy the rain again, especially now that I live in Portland. Car junkyards. Thanks for that, the brave little toaster. Getting a paper cut on my tongue. I refuse to lick an envelope. Being run over by a train when I'm not standing on or near tracks. If the ceiling fan will fall and kill me while it's still rotating. I've always been terrified of spoons. I know it's irrational. I know forks and knives are more dangerous, yet I know that when I put a spoon in my mouth it'll rip the roof of my mouth clean out, and I'll be left there bleeding over any bowl of ice cream I could have just used a fork for. That a snake or a spider or some other nasty critter is hiding in the toilet bowl and will bite my arsehole while I'm dropping a deuce. Being Hansel and Gretel, which is being pushed into an open oven by a child and getting cooked alive. Or looking into a shark tank at an aquarium, feeling my glasses slide off, grasping for them, but falling over the rail into the shark tank and being eaten alive. Tim Curry. I watched it when it was on TV with my mom. I was probably around 2 or 3. My entire life I could never figure out why his voice made me so deeply scared until I rewatched it as an adult. If my feet are propped up on something, I've always been afraid someone is gonna come along and break my knees inward. Stairs without backs. They give me the fucking creeps. Always feel like I'm going to fall through, even thought there is no way in hell I could fit. Being arrested / convicted of something I didn't do and having no recourse. Uncovered windows at night. I keep thinking someone or something is just going to be staring right back at me. Inflatable people. My mother locked me in the garage with a green alien when I was little. Now, anything that resembles an inflatable alien or person creeps me out. My mom told me, as a joke, that if my flip-flop got caught in the end of an escalator, that I could get sucked in. I still have mini panic attack whenever I step on or off of one. It's just innate. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Come back tomorrow for more videos. Subscribe to become cheese.